evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight we are here in the beautiful Las Vegas area as we're at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This just a great mile-and-a-half tri-oval here. It's high banked. It is speed personified here for sure. And you can definitely get these cars around the track. And it can be a little bit slippery, especially on cold tires. You definitely need to make sure you got the back end underneath you. But multiple lines. Yeah, kind of, in my eyes, maybe a little miniature version of a Michigan or an auto club where there's a lot of different lines that you can take. Certainly, the bottom line will probably be, in full effect here tonight. It is the shorter way around, but the middle line is definitely viable, and the top line, running that Larson line around the outside is certainly, I'm sure, going to be in play as well. Carline, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, it's time to do a little gambling out here in Vegas.
Yeah, who's got the cojones to gamble here tonight? I went out there a little bit, Carl, just to kind of feel the track, and it's fast, but these cars are loose coming out of turn number 4, pretty strong. Not too bad coming out of 2, going down the backstretch, but you still gotta be careful just a little bit. But coming out of 4 might be a problem for some drivers here tonight. I was watching them practice, obviously trying to get that fast lap in, get them qualifying burners in here, and try to set a thing. Tonight is on the special event for tonight is who can get the fastest lap during the race. So there might be some people that actually try to push it pretty hard early on, especially when they get them new tires. Right now, I'm just going ahead and put up the tower here, and you can see where everybody's kind of sitting at the moment. I'm just going to put best time up here and get rid of the rest of this stuff here. But yeah, you can see that Timothy Presley currently on top there with a 30.1, and Joshua King right behind him with a 30.1 as well. So it's going to be quick here. It's going to be quick here tonight. I was doing like 33 or 30.3s myself. I don't know if I had the right setup or fuel or whatnot, but it was a lot of fun, and the car did seem pretty loose though.
Yeah, my son wanted to do a little bit of a test drive, and then it just happened to be already loading into the session at that time. Well, as soon as we get in here, you'll be a ghost car, so he can try it out. So, sat on my lap, and I worked the pedals for him, and he drove the car, which is it's not exactly easy. I mean, I don't have the strongest force-speed feedback wheel, but he was up on the wheel. Let's put it that way, just to get this thing around the track. Because these cars and this track can rip you around a little bit on these wheels, and he learned the hard way that you don't really want to counter steer too much to try and correct it, because the car snapped on him a couple times hard on the wall. Luckily, he let the wheel go, or there might have been some broken fingers involved in that one. But I mean, yeah, just him experiencing that, and me getting out there a little bit afterwards as well. I kind of felt the same thing. It is one where you have to drive aggressively safe, if that makes any kind of sense. You have to really drive the car hard, but you have to be aware right away of when that car wants to step out. If you take it a little bit easier, it's pretty much just as overdriving the car. You can snap if you're taking it too easy. You can snap if you're driving it too hard. So you really need to be on your toes here tonight. So hopefully these drivers are ready for quite a race here tonight, as we're going to have 85 laps here under the lights of Vegas. Last couple races that we had so far this season, this is race number 3. First one out there, if you missed it, we went to Echo Park Speedway at Atlanta, and Timothy Presley got the win there. And then last week out, we were at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as we went kind of back-to-back with the mile-and-a-half quad ovals, and Jorge Ledesma Jr. got the win there at Charlotte. But here tonight, we still stay at the mile-and-a-half. We just go to the tri-oval version. But we've got a special guest, a man that is kind of sponsoring this race. Want to bring him in right now, and that is going to be Drafty Beef, driver of the number 2. Drafty, you picked Las Vegas out here. It's a beautiful track, especially under the lights here. But you got everybody going out there for a beautiful cause as well.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for this one tonight. Vegas being one of my favorite tracks to race as well. But yeah, racing for my son tonight, and type 1 diabetes awareness. Really looking hopefully it'll bring a little bit more knowledge. A lot of people don't seem to have a differentiate. Know the difference between type 1 and type 2, so it'd be kind of nice to he'll get out here, maybe share some of that information. And in case you're wondering, the difference is type 1 is something that you can't control if you get it or not. It's an autoimmune disease. It attacks the beta cells in the pancreas and basically destroys it, making it incapable of producing insulin. So my son, who's now 6, he was diagnosed 2 years ago. Me and his mom basically have to be his pancreas 24/7. And type 2 is something that you get from your diet, your lifestyle, genes perhaps. And so I just kind of want to get that out there and have a good race for a good cause tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one, diabetes, it seems like it's, I know popular is not the name for it, but the popularity seems to be growing more and more. And I'm sure it's more on the type 2 side that you're be mentioning, just with poor diets, especially in this country. I don't have the best diet myself, so I can't really talk too loud about it, but it's certainly not something to mess with. I know my mother-in-law deals with it herself, and it's certainly not fun. But when you got kids involved, especially like you're mentioning, with your son Charlie, it's not fun, and that's putting it mildly. But certainly love whenever we get to raise awareness for anything, whether it's diabetes or any other cause out there. It sucks kind of when it hits close to home, but sometimes that's what needs to happen for people to kind of get aware of the situation. But just want to get you up here and give you a little time to talk about it and talk about your son there. So I see you guys are ready to rock and roll, though, but so we'll let you get out there. But before we do, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I mean, the number one person I got to give a huge shout out and thanks to is actually my son's mom. She does an amazing job with them all week long, and I can't thank her enough for what she does. And of course, I got to thank my team, Royalty Motorsports, and the sponsors here for Hold Your Brakes Academy, SM Racing Products and Majestic Promotional Branded Apparel, and of course, the main sponsor, PinUpsForVets.com.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, good luck out there. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you during the race, maybe at some point. If not, maybe after the race in that top 3.
All right, looking forward to it.
As the driver of the number 2 Drafty Beef, we're ready to get rolling here. Timothy Presley, Joshua King on the front row, Matt Ulmer, Jorge Ledesma, Jeremiah Grau for your top 5, Shane King, Sean McLean, Robert Altman, Aaron Genske, and Jarrett Martin for your top 10. Pace car is in, 85 laps on tap, and we are racing here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, Timothy Presley getting on that loud pedal, taking it down into turn number 1. And leading the way, so nice start there for him to get out front. And you got to be careful here, like I said, with them tires are not warmed up and ready to go. So you can see right here the 8 looking to make a move early on, going 3 wide with the 8 and the 115 and the turtle machine on the outside, and they're going to bump the turtle machine into the wall. So they're going to bump them a little bit, but still going straight here. So just maybe a little aggressive, or just had the run there, just not quite able to hold that car down there for the 8. So looking good, but that would be Jarrett Martin. Matt Ulmer up there in Pete, number 2 in a 23. The 48 of Jeremiah Grau in 3rd, looking at the inside now, trying to go around. So there's a lot of strategy here for this track and whatnot, and tires do play a big part when you can and when you can't make a move here. But right now, able to run multiple lines and keep this thing going here as the 60 of Shane King moves into 3rd place around Matt Ulmer.
Yeah, I think one thing that we don't talk about a lot is we talk about those first couple laps really being, you got to be careful. You got to bring those tires in. Those cold tires will come up and bite you real quick. But it's not just bringing those cold tires in so you can race hard. You don't want to race hard really in those first 10 laps or so, because that's when you can burn the most percentage off of your car. As looks like we will have a yellow here to start this thing off. We'll take a look and see what happened. But I mean, you can lose a lot of percentage and grip from those tires early on by driving those tires just a little bit too aggressively. As looking back here, looks like Kelly Akron. Possibly, or I'm sorry, that's Rob Higgs, I believe.
Steve Harrison
involved in this one.
Yeah,
that's the 51 there. I was trying to see who was spinning on the backstretch.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was Kelly Akron.
Yeah,
because Akron had a meatball on that one. We'll take a look and see what sent Akron around here to start this one off. Looks like just in the wall, and then a little bit of a tap from behind by Tristan Miner right there, and then the huge impact right there on the side from the 51 of Steve Harrison. Harrison certainly had some damage, but surprisingly he didn't have a meatball, but Kelly Akron getting whacked in the front tire there gave him a meatball, so he had to come in and get that repaired. Hopefully it's not like the meatballs that we seen last night, Jimmy. I'm still amazed at how many meatballs we had last night for the 191 race at Charlotte. I mean, I think if they hit debris on the track, and I'm not talking a bumper, I'm talking if they had a napkin, I think they were going to get the meatball flag last night.
Man, Italy was jealous last night. I mean, it's just with all the meatballs that were flying around there last night at 191, but yeah, I mean, obviously, here, obviously, everybody trying to make runs, and we talked about it, getting loose out of turn 4 and being able to hold on to it or out of 2. But just want to give a shout out to all the fans out there, as always. Barry, Rena, Scruffy, Jeremy, Twisted Gaming, Zebra out there, Luna, Emilio. Just glad that you guys can share the event here tonight. And you got a favorite driver out there, and he's not getting quite as much TV time, and you're kind of wondering where he's at or how he's doing. Let us know, and we'll get back to their cars, and let's show you them on track as best as possible. So, but enjoy the race here. We will be here for 85 laps. We're on lap 5. Timothy Presley is your leader with Jeremiah Growl, Shane King, Matt Ulmer, and Joshua King for your top 5.
We don't have the main guy behind the sponsorship here as well with PinosFrets.com, Joe Thomas, not in attendance here tonight. He is currently with the race team in real life. He was last seen parking the rig just south of Indy, and then he's gonna be flying home. But wishing all the drivers out there to drive safe, drive smart, and keep it straight and hold the brakes for sure. Certainly the motto here and the name of the league here for the Hold Your Brakes Academy, and pretty good job right there. I mean, it's not much Kelly Akron could do there, spinning sideways in all kinds of ways down the backstretch, and it's just unfortunate for the 51 there to get involved as well. But we're gonna double them up here, get this thing back underway as Akron back out there in the field. Looks like everybody is good to go. Everyone's still on the lead lap, so they were able to get their cars back into the pits, get them all repaired. We'll get them fired up here. Is only 3 cars into the pits there. The 51, the 19, both involved in an incident, and then it looks like Robert Altman involved in a little bit of skirmish to send him up into the wall. Maybe just coming in and touching up that car a little bit as well, but everybody else stayed out. Still plenty early. Still 80 laps to go. It's going to be Timothy Presley, Jeremiah Growl already up 4 spots, Shane King, Matt Ulmer, Joshua King, Jorge Ledesma, Sean McLean, Aaron Genske, Jared Martin, and David Chapman for your top 10. Take a run down through the rest of them here real quick, just so you know who is out there in the field. Tyler Edmondson, David Chapman Jr., Robbie Miner, Andrew Jones, Tom Lanier, Jackson West, Davis Shively, Jonathan Marsh, Drafty Beef, Robert White, and Ryan Perone Sr. for your top 20. Then you got Rob Higgs, Tyler Reed, Jeremy Gill, James Smith, Tristan Miner, Thomas Osborne, Anthony Strickland, William Martin, Jake Raven, and then the 3 we mentioned, Robert Altman, Steve Harrison, and Kelly Akron for your 32-car field. And just in time, because we're back racing here at Vegas.
Yeah, back here with Jeremy Gill all the way back in 24th spot, start towards the back of the field, up 7 spots. So obviously needs to take his time to work his way through the field, but it's a challenge. And I don't know if Jeremy is. I know he's reached out to us and said thank you for the kind words, and we really appreciate that. Obviously trying to make sure all the drivers are in good health, and you take care of yourself. If you're having issues, get rest up. These races, as much as you want to be in here, if it means sitting on the sidelines for 1 or 2, you should probably do so. But right now, looking good right now. It does look like Timothy Presley's still out front there, just kind of back here with Jeremy, kind of seeing what's lying ahead here. As you can see, 3 wide action just up in front of him. So, this is something that you're looking for. We're on top of the car, so we can see a little bit farther ahead than he can. It's something that you're trying to anticipate what the other drivers are doing. You want them to obviously hold their line. You want them to drive safely as possible, give each other room. 85 laps is quite a little ways here at this track, and you got to take your time. So looking at there will be a cop caution later in the race. I won't hand that out, as there's obviously some drivers that are listening, but that will come at a specific time by race control. So we're just going to go ahead and let that happen when it happens. And but right now, looking good so far. Everybody's still battling here. The battlefield looks as messy as Battlefield 6, Carl.
Yeah, it's pretty much 90% of the field right now is the battlefield, as we're here well underway, and we got some smoke happening on the backstretch. Looks like we got a car down low. I'm not sure if that is it's Andrew Jones, and it will bring out a yellow. So let's take a look at what happened to the 3. Looks like maybe just self-imposed here.
No, right, there's a 6 in front of him.
Yeah, the 6 in front of him, but he saved it, and I think the 3 just kind of maybe checked up a little bit too much, just in case to try and avoid that situation, and unfortunately he bit it because of it. As that beautiful number 3, I know it's you're a fan of the paint scheme there as well, with the Halloween month upon us fully, but. The front end definitely looked a little better before that incident, so we'll see Andrew Jones, I'm sure, come in, and in fact, he's going to have to come in because he's got a meatball flag to serve here. So we'll get this thing under caution now. 10 laps in, Jimmy. I know they have a trying to find it here. Well, they got the fastest lap, yes, but I was trying to see. There we go. If it lets me click on it, I got the damn flag in the way. And, pesky new UI. I guess I need one of those new mouse pads from Kim's Cups and More to move around this UI to see how many sets of tires they have. But yeah, I was kind of wondering if anybody would take a chance heading into to pit road here and take some tires this early on in the race. It seems a bit early, in my opinion, but you never know. I mean, maybe you want to take a chance and switch up the strategies here for the back of the field, but it's tough here with the hold your brakes. Again, as we mentioned multiple times, it's kind of geared more towards the newer, the less experienced, the less skilled type of iRacers here. Not that there's not good drivers out there, because there are, and we see some good races week in and week out, but it's tough as a driver, kind of mid-pack, buried in the pack, to make a decision on when you want to go off strategy. I mean, the track position means so much, because the next yellow could be another 2-3 laps down the road, and you need to be able to get out there and get up through the field as quick as possible. So you mess up in qualifying, some tracks it may not make a big difference, but here for this league, you really kind of need to nail the qualifying if you want to be one of those top drivers and kind of get away from some of the riffraff. But Jimmy, we've seen some great driving all the way through the field, and we've seen some drivers tussle it up here for first, let alone for 21st. So it really doesn't matter. But I do gotta say, heck of a field out here tonight. I mean, we got 31 cars still in the lead lap, but 32 out here altogether, with Jones being the only one lap down right now, having that meatball flag. So great turnout here once again.
Yeah, and the drivers continue to show up here at Hold Your Brakes, and it's a good place for them to get out here, run some of their favorite tracks around people that are close in skill level, and there's a few maybe that have a little more time on the track than others, but either way, you still get to learn from each other, and you don't have to worry about getting in them official lobbies, and they can if you're brave enough to get in the official lobbies, you're braver than I am. I retired those, especially the ovals, a couple of years ago. I think I did one about a year ago in the trucks, and it didn't, if I wanted some entertainment for commentary, it's definitely there, as you can catch some people saying some very colorful words of endearment, I guess, to each other. But these drivers here, they know what each person's kind of going through, and some people have better races than others. Some people have some bad luck. But yeah, you're right. We talk about this mid pack, and it's tough there. Whether you're the fast driver and you got to work your way up through it, or if you're just your mid pack, you skill for this track, and that's where you're hanging out, or whatever it may be. It just becomes a big battlefield, and it's very, very, very challenging. Very rarely do you get clean air on the front of your car all the time, and and you're always looking out to, for if somebody's going to wreck in front of you, and and trying to avoid that. And that's all part of racecraft. And as you get better, you might not feel better here in a league race, but you might feel better when you do maybe challenge them officials again in the future. But off we go again. Timothy Presley still out the lead here, getting a nice good jump there over Jeremiah Grau there in P number 2. We'll go back here with Matt Ulmer and the 23 on the outside with the 44 Jorge Ledesma down on that inside as well, and a little scuff in the wall just a little bit, but that's like I said, the car pushes out pretty easily, and you just got to be careful. These tires are warmed up and ready to go, so the drivers can drive the car the way that they like. You just have to be careful you don't overheat them.
Well, we got a chance, and since we are in Vegas, I'm gonna try and do this a little bit more, because it seems like some of the fans out there in CR Nation like to kind of let us know their opinions from time to time, and I like to put these polls out here throughout the race, keep everybody engaged. We're in Vegas, Jimmy, so I'm gonna put it out here to the fans. I'm gonna put it out here to you as well. What's your table game of choice? Blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, something else? I mean, what is your what's your cup de jour of games when it comes to gambling in Vegas?
I don't. I would get hooked, and then next thing you know, I'm losing all kinds of money. I'm the guy that just thinks it's fun to watch, and I'll watch people lose money, but I don't like tossing my money out there. Sometimes it's fun to gamble. Every now and then I'll play the lotto or something like that, and that's about my extent of gambling these days. But I don't think I don't like throwing money around too often. Even there's other things too that you try to invest your money whether it's gonna do something for you and not just waste it. But if you're out there and you like to have fun, if the $100 at the table is what you want to do, and then you enjoy your fun, well then go ahead and do that. Just don't get caught spending your rent money. Like I've seen, I did a bingo haul for when I made chief in the Navy, and we went and we volunteered there, and man, these people were slinging out more money than you thought they had, but I highly thought that maybe it was their rent. It was just amazing. But another yellow flag coming out here. See the 11 kind of wrapped up back there, 11, 3, 19. So find out what happened back in the back of the pack here. There's another caution flies after a few laps here. So just looks
right here, the 51 and the 11 kind of just get together on the front stretch. 51 gets hooked. Certainly not a good start here for Steve Harrison. Not what he wanted to see. Then 11, Anthony Strickland getting involved in this one as well. Both of them are going to walk away with a meatball flag.
Kelly.
And then Kelly Akron right there. He got a black flag, so I'm not sure what the black flag is for, but I'm surprised he didn't walk away with a meatball himself. A hard impact there into the side of the 11. Going to bring us under another caution here. As it's the tri-oval here, Jimmy. I mean, Vegas is probably got, in my opinion, one of the easiest aprons to get on the front stretch. Is not that much roughness on the transition down there, but it's still it feels like a really tight tri-oval when you're going through there. I know even my son, when he was going through the tri-oval, he's still a little bit of a sore on the wheel, and I had to kind of work the throttle a little bit to make sure he didn't spin out on the tri-oval. But it's kind of tighter. It's not like it's one sweeping tri-oval on the front stretch, like you would think of, say like a Richmond. I know Richmond's a lot smaller, half the size, but Richmond kind of goes from turn 3 all the way to turn 1, just a long sweeping turn coming out of there. Here at Vegas, you kind of come out of the corner, you got a straightaway, and then it's a turn, and then another straightaway. So that turn there on the front stretch of the tri-oval can get a little tight, and it might have been part of the cause right here on this one, with the 51 sliding up and hooking himself across the 11. But you see pit road, mighty busy out here, as it looks like just about everyone from the top coming into the pits, but we do have plenty that are going to stay out, as it looks like the top 16 stay out on track right now. So it's going to hand over the lead to Shane King, Joshua King in second, no relation. Jorge Ledesma, your winner last week, now up into third. Matt Ulmer, Jonathan Marsh, Tyler Edmondson, Drafty Beef, now up into 7th. We'll get him in here in a second, see how the race is going for him so far. Then you got Davis Shively, Robbie Minor, and Robert White for your top 10. And see if I can grab Drafty Beef here, if I can find him. There he is. So we'll bring in the driver of the number 2 here real quick. We see Drafty, we see you up there now in the top 10. I know you had a little bit of a strategy here, not going into the pits this time. How's the car feeling out there? Me and Jimmy talked about it kind of being a little loose in those first couple laps.
Honestly, the car feels amazing. I love a car that drives off the right rear, and I've been able to do so in those first couple, few laps, saving the right front for later in the run. Honestly, my tires feel amazing right now. I'm not really too worried about the guys that pitted.
Well, I asked the question to Jimmy. I got the poll out there for the fans out there in Sierra Nation right now as well. But I'm going to ask you, table game of choice. We got blackjack, craps, roulette, or poker?
Ooh, we'll go blackjack. I find myself playing that the most at the casino.
I hear that. I'm right with you. Well, good luck out there. Hopefully you can keep moving that number 2 forward.
Thank you.
Is the driver of the number 2 Drafty Beef, as he's up there now in the top 10 in 7th place. We are doubling up, ready to go back to green flag racing. And Jimmy, I just kind of got done blinking. All of a sudden, we're down 20 laps already. So this thing is it's flying by pretty quickly. I mean, we haven't had a long green flag run. That one right there, about 10 laps or so. But we're already a quarter of the way through this race, so it's going to click by here pretty quickly. These lap times around here are mighty fast at Vegas at just over 30 seconds a clip. So we'll see what the field does here coming back to green.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a good 64 laps out there here, and obviously they're doubling up here, and you can see on the tower there all the green numbers of the people pretty much decided to stay out and make their way up through, to get themselves a good position here. And I'll go ahead and I'll put up the when people last pit, and you can see Raven was the earliest one at 11. And everybody else coming in here at 19. A few black flags and a meatball still there with Kelly Akron. But we're going to hopefully those drivers get back out there and get some time on track. But we're back underway here with Shane King out in the lead now, with Joshua King right behind him. Jorge Ledesma sitting there in P number 3. So just looking good so far. Single file all the way back, it looks like, until I think it was that right behind Tyler Edmondson with Shively and Robbie Minor in the number 53.
So speaking of gambling, we're going to have kind of our own little bit of gambling here when it comes to you fans out there in Sierra Nation, as we got a giveaway here tonight, and it is courtesy of Jeremy Gill. He is giving away a free Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It is we're not sure how long it is for, if it's for a month, 3 months, 6 months, what it is. It's not scratched off. It's brand new, but looking at the card, it looks like it's valid for new Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members only. So if you already have a Game Pass, it's not going to be for you. But for anyone out there that is interested, we are going to raffle it off here at the end of this race. Maybe not the end of this race. We'll announce the winner next week, as we'll get all the people that want to be entered in the drawing, and do a random wheel spin and pick the winner that way. So a little bit of a gambling. It doesn't cost you any money, which is always a good thing. But for anyone that is interested in the Game Pass, whether you want it for yourself, whether you want it for family member, kid, anything like that, all you need to do is type in Xbox on the chat, and you will automatically be entered in for a chance to win it. So once again, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate looks like it's for new members only. If you are interested in it for yourself or somebody else, make sure you type in Xbox in the chat, and you'll get yourself into the raffle for it. But we have green flag racing back here in Vegas, and we are down to 60 laps remaining. Shane King in the lead. Jorge Ledesma looking to go back-to-back here after winning last week, is now going to be vying for the lead as the 44 is going to get around, or at least working to get around Shane King at the front. Looks like he is going to clear heading into turn number 1. Joshua King in third. Matt Ulmer in fourth. Drafty Beef now up into the top 5 in the number 2. As you see him coming into the screen right there. Tyler Edmondson, David Shively, Robbie Miner, Jeremy Gill, currently in the top 10, and somehow still going to be in the top 10 after that one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them cars coming off and just, whether it's net code or whatever, but it just doesn't look nice when you see dust and debris flying off the wall there for any of the cars. And, if it was the 87s a few years ago, man, they would have shotgunned off and flown through the infield. I mean, it was pretty tight. But back here, the 69 with Robert White was just 3 wide with the 22 115, able to hold that together here and the 115 making the pass on the outside, and that's Aaron Genske there moving up into P number 12. So people working their way forward with the newer tires. Obviously, you got to work their way through the battlefield, and that's what they're doing here now. So go ahead, I'll just bring this up real quick, and you can see who's been on the march forward here quickly with the newer tires, and Timothy Presley being one of them here. And the number 1, he's been working that outside here, lap in and lap out, just taking his time, and that's what you got to do. If you got the speed, you got the time, just work your way around carefully. And there's no sense of pushing it. Save them tires. You'll be better in the long run. But you can see the crossover there, getting underneath Jonathan Marsh there in the 80. Making another pass. So move Timothy Presley back to P number 6. Looking to move forward. Drafty Beef, we talked to him earlier, up 15 spots. But next on the list for the 1 of Timothy Presley.
Good restart here, but you see that the field's still all kind of grouped together here. Not really anybody checking out, and as long as it's as close as it is, cautions could be right around the corner because it's just tight racing. It looks like the 17 of Joshua King down into pit lane. So this is very interesting. These drivers only have 50% fuel. Not sure how long that takes them into the race, but certainly you don't really want to pit under green, especially with the way we've seen the cautions coming out here so far tonight, because probably going to be going down a lap here. As you see, once again, looks like 3 wide heading into turn number 3. The 8's going to send it through the middle. Oh, net code contact there, the way it looked with the 22. And we are going to have a caution right on cue as some drivers coming down in the pits, some drivers sent into the pits as well.
Wow.
Looks like we got a few black flags, as trying to see who. It looks like Jared Martin with a black flag. Looks like William Martin with a black flag. Anthony Strickland and Kelly Akron all with a black flag on this for one way or another. And it's going to bring us under a caution.
And you see the 37 already a little wide with after getting with the 22, but 37 then goes out the wall. Does look like the 88 gets into the 39, sends him for a ride, and then a few others coming in behind him. I think it was at the 52. We gotta pause this. Yeah, so you can see right there how everybody's reacting, but I think it was the 52. William Martin there up on the wall. I'll go ahead and slow-mo this some more. But looking for an escape, no escape there as the 39 was blocking it. A lot of drivers choosing to kind of come down to pit lane, and hopefully, then black flags of avoidance for pit lane. Sometimes race control will go ahead and clear those because it's for wreck avoidance. But obviously, typically iRacing will deem that as an safe entry, and next thing you know, you got a black flag anyways. So that's why that a lot of times when leagues do have a race control, they'll clear those a lot of times. So, but yeah, a few cars wrapped up here right now, but pit lane is busy, Carl, and looks like all the drivers that were kind of didn't come in are now coming back in here, and they're all in there now. Timothy Presley, Ledesma, King, Genske, Miner, Lanier, Beef, Reed, Osborne, Raven, all coming in. Strickland does have a black flag. Martin's got a black flag, and I'm sure that will get cleared if he was one of the drivers that came down in the pits, if they have time. So it's tough out there, especially when you're race control, to try to clear everything, and a lot of times you don't want to hit a clear all button, so you got to do them one at a time. And there's tools out there that do help out and make those decisions. I think it was Sim Racing Apps was a pretty decent one as far as race control went. And the other thing that I know is out there, we've had them on a sponsor at some of the leagues, and that was the admin box. And it was something I kind of looked into, but I just kind of hemmed and hawed about it because I never was really admin, and I always felt like maybe it was something that needed to be gifted to Carl, as he used to be the admin while driving, and I don't know how he'd ever did it, driving full pace, and he just like right click and clear flags. I don't gift.
Yeah, with one hand on the mouse, it's not fun. And trying to make decisions in your head right away. We've said it before, especially with 191. They have their own dedicated admin as well. That it's a thankless job. It is a job that more often than not you're going to get 15 drivers that absolutely hate you, hate your decisions, can't stand what you're doing, and you'll get maybe 3 people that actually say thank you. And it's nothing against the drivers out there, but it is one where you'll get a lot more criticism than you'll get praise, and it's a shame because most of the time these folks are doing it for free, using their own time, their own money, because they're in here, they're not gaining anything other than using their computer, using electric, using everything like that. Everything costs money. They're doing it for free, and it's unappreciated by some, which is a shame. But we understand it. We understand what everything goes through, because in core we review the races after the race and go through, and we take the time to do it. And same thing, we have 3, 4, 5 admins over there that take the time to help review the races, because the same thing, if you have one person doing it, then you complain, this person's showing favoritism. So we go above and beyond over there and have at least 3 reviewing the entire race, so that way you can say there's a majority. But looks like these black flags are going to stay. And the one other thing that's going to stay is Joshua King, 1 lap down. He was not a lucky dog. He is now 1 lap down after being up towards the front. Excuse me. Looks like Robert White also down 1 lap, so he's going to have to try and get around the 69 to get into the lucky dog spot. But right now, the 50 of Ryan Perone Sr. is your leader. Sean McLean, James Smith, Robert Altman, Matt Ulmer for your top 5, as everyone has now made at least 1 pit stop here on the race, and we're getting closer to the halfway point, but still got plenty of time left in this race.
Yeah, plenty of time in the race still. I mean, obviously, getting closer and closer to that halfway mark, and overall, obviously, with the few minor mistakes, but there's quite a few drivers to see. It does look like the
60. Great save by the 60. The 1 saved it, but now still some happenings going on, and we're going to have another caution. You see the 17 trying to get through there to get up there for the lucky dog. He is now going to be involved, and this one has plenty of cars are going to get mixed up in this one. This may not be the big one, but I think just about half the field had some kind of part of this one way or another. You see right there the 99 getting into the 53. And I think that's really what set it off. I think that it started with the 60 getting tagged by the 1, but they both ended up saving it. But then you see right here just everything checking up from there, which checking up is the right thing to do. But eventually, the accordion effect comes in and the full effect here. And you see quite a few drivers involved in this one here on lap number 35.
Yeah, a bunch of people involved in this one here, Carl. And, it was the drivers just trying to... check up, and obviously the accordion effect or slinky effect always comes into play when everybody is racing so close together. So a few drivers slide around there. You see Higgs going for a little bit of a ride. A few drivers down the wall. The 17, Shively down on the apron, looking to go around everything, and does a pretty fantastic job down there. But a lot of drivers kind of getting involved in this one here, and another caution here flies, and this is just close racing. Them newer tires, cold tires, people trying to go 3 wide, and and you think about it, if you're out there and you're listening, it's just one of those things. You just obviously you need to get to the end to win. So sometimes backing out or letting things go, is kind of the way to go. I mean, it's hard to tell a race car driver that, like, hey, be patient. Like, they want to get every single position they can. They want to, move up through the field. But when you get involved into a wreck or you cause a wreck, then you're feeling bad about it, or or your people aren't feeling bad or good about what you did or the mistake that you made and wondering why you did that. So, it's just a learning curve for a lot of drivers when it comes to this isn't really pack racing, but everything's so close, so fast here at Vegas, and things can happen very, very quickly. But out front now is the 6 of Sean McLean, with Matt Ulmer in a 23, and second Robert Altman in the Ninja Turtle machine, and third James Smith up 20 spots, currently sitting on fourth. Looking for a sponsor, I believe, too. Jarrett Martin in the 8th and 5th, and then Aaron Genske, Sean King in the 60 and 7th. Jorge Ledesma is back there in 8th. Drafty B finds himself in the top 10 and 9th, and Tom Lanier will round out your top 10. So, we've seen the 99 get involved in an incident, but now he's still sitting in top 10. So, good comeback, and it's just patience and just kind of get back out on the track. If you got that fast repair, using it, and maybe you don't have to use it later on. And now it's all kind of strategies are starting to kind of come into play now with the halfway mark coming up here quickly tonight. But yeah, so far so good. I think some lessons learned for the drivers to kind of come back and see what they did wrong, or maybe what they could have done better for the next race. So enough for some teaching points, and I hope that they can lock this thing down and get the rest of this thing under green here, and run this thing to the end, and we'll see what kind of finish and who walks away the winner here tonight.
It's kind of funny, at least for us up here, certainly not for Samantha out there, but it seems like the minors are always right by each other. And right now we have Tristan Miner on the lead lap in 23rd position, and then Robbie Miner just getting back on the lead lap there in 24th position. So I mean, it's crazy. The 22, the 53 always finding each other out there on the track. Unfortunately, a lot of times, because they're so close to each other, once one gets involved in the incident, another one gets involved, and Samantha's left throwing her hands up out there in Sierra Nation. But right now they got plenty of time to make their way back up through the field. Again, these drivers do have a couple faster pairs that they can work with. They also do have, one faster pair that they have to work with here tonight, but they do have 4 sets of tires that they can use, so 3 in the pits behind the wall, as we're back to racing here in Vegas. Hopefully we can stretch this thing out here a little bit, stretch out the field, which is not easy at Vegas because it's so fast. There's so many different lines. You can get so many good runs outside, middle. I mean, you're seeing 3 wide multiple times because there's so many lines out here.
Definitely plenty of lines on there. You see some drivers down on the apron, maybe heading down into the pits, or just moving out of the way as the field kind of goes by here. And you can just see we're with David Chapman here in the 88, and just looking in front of him, he's watching 3 wide. He's watching people kind of up and down and trying to hold the car, trying to choose a lane going through the corner, and that's tough. I mean, if you're Dave Chapman back here, you just want to get around here safely. Maybe you want to get a position, but you don't want to be swerving in the corners, going from the bottom to the top to the top to the bottom, all over the place. And you see somebody losing it here going down through the grass, and that's looks like Thomas Osborne is going to go for a ride, and he's got that thing going straight back on the track, just losing some momentum here, and now a little behind the power curve. But if I'm Osborne and that just happened to me, it's like, okay, I made a mistake. I got down the grass. My car's still okay. Let me just settle down, get these tires kind of back to where they need to be and try to run some decent laps, because, before you know it, you could be getting lapped. But that's the kind of price you pay for making a mistake. In a GT race, you make a mistake, you go off track, you lose time. In reality, you really never ever get that back unless it's an endurance race, and people make mistakes, and then eventually if you're consistent enough, you can make that stuff up. But it's not something that really you can make up here on an oval unless the cautions come. So you just got to kind of be patient and wait for that to happen, as there's been a few cautions here tonight. So the odds of one happening again are probably fairly high. Obviously, with that, topped with some of the newer drivers out here, of course, lurking, and you can hear the tires kind of scrubbing here with Shane King. You can hear him working, getting around here. You can hear that screech, and I got the tire noises turned up just a little bit for everybody, so you can kind of hear the tire scrubbing, and that's what that is out there. That sound is really kind of the tires just kind of scrubbing off, and it tells you how much pressure is kind of put on them right side tires as they go around the corners. But Matt Ulmer is out in the front here in number 23, leading the way over Shane King, and then the 6 of Sean McLean is going to fall back in the third. But Robert Altman down at the bottom here, looking to take P3 with Jorge Ledesma right behind him. So moving forward for the number 94 and 44. And look out back there, and now in the top 5 is Drafty Beef.
Well, what's kind of crazy is we're seeing all the drivers that pit on lap number 31, 32 under a caution. Speaking of caution, we're going to get another one here. Jared Martin involved in this one. We're seeing a lot of those drivers in that second round of pit stops there, making their way through the field and up through the field, as Sean McLean was one that pit on lap number 19, but so was the 94 of Robert Altman. So the fact that he was moving up through the field with those kind of older tires was really surprising. But you see right there, looks like the one of Timothy Presley getting into the back of the 8 and sending Jared Martin around into pit lane. Going to get a black flag for that, but looks like that was at least already cleared for him, as we'll be back under caution here, and we're past the halfway point now. So it's still not time for go time anywhere close to that yet, but I mean, with all these cautions and with how fast this track is here tonight, you almost feel like it's pretty close. Maybe you're going to be earlier than normal here tonight. But once again, want to remind everyone out there that we do have a raffle out there for anyone that is interested, courtesy of Jeremy Gill. It is an Xbox Game Pass Ultimates for any new users, anyone that wants to sign up for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I can tell you right now, I am one of them. If I wasn't already a user, I would have grabbed it from them immediately, because it's fantastic, especially not just for me, but if you have kids that are into gaming as well. It's basically your option of getting 50, 100 games that they can try out. They can do whatever they want for free. I mean, it is, and there's new games, put on Xbox Game Pass weekly. Some brand new games come out day one. I know last year, my son loves playing MLB The Show, and I think it was pretty much day one, or maybe like a week later from the release of the game, it came onto Xbox Game Pass. I know a lot of the Assassin's Creeds are on there, the Battlefield games. There's tons and tons and tons of games that are too much for me to handle. So I mean, anyone that's out there is into gaming, it's definitely worth it. If you're thinking about doing it, thinking about checking it out, here's your chance. You can get a free Xbox Game Pass Ultimate discount card, or like I said, we don't have it. It's not scratched off, so we don't know if it's for a month, 3 months. Hell, if it's for a day, it's worth checking out for sure. But if you want to get involved in it, we're going to raffle it off. We're going to put everybody's name that wants a chance in it onto the wheel, spin it, and then we'll let you know who wins it here, and we'll try and do it at the end of this race, because we should have everybody in here. But all you have to do to get your name in on that list is type in Xbox. You type in Xbox here in the chat, and your name will be thrown in the mix. Right now, we only got 2. We got Twisted Gaming Network and Barry out there are involved in the wheel of destiny, if you will. So again, anyone out there, if you're thinking about it for yourself, for a family member, hey, Christmas isn't that far around the corner here, so it's an option out there as well. So get your name out there, throw your name in the ring, and you never know, might walk away with it here tonight.
Yeah, it's always a little something. I mean, there's been times when me and Carl aren't here on CRN. I'll hop over on my Twitch channel, and not that I have many people show up, but hang out and just kind of, as the game's played, just kind of watch the playthrough. Sometimes you may not have the time to sit and play the game, but you can sit and watch one of your friends play. So it's not a bad thing, and a lot of free games over there, like you said, on that Game Pass thing. Plenty of games. Pretty much, there's something for everybody. The
Yes.
day ones are always nice and whatnot, but yeah, type in that Xbox, man. Get yourself a Game Pass there, Ultimate. Matter of fact, the Xbox Pass just went up to $30. So yeah, it's a nice little birthday gift, holiday gift, whatever it may be for somebody if you can't use it yourself. But thanks for handing that out for a raffle here tonight. But right now, looking good so far with the field. And back underway here at lap 49. Matt Ulmer out front with Shane King behind, chasing him. Drafty Beef on the outside of Jorge Ledesma, but Jorge Ledesma looking to go back to back. Been pretty fast here all night, and are looking to get back in that position here to get back up in the booth. I mean, Carl, it's been a while since we had a driver that continuously comes up here and into the booth, but is it going to be Jorge Ledesma this year or this season?
I mean, we've seen it last year. We've seen flashes last year, that 44 being up there. We already got him, obviously, last week in the top spot, getting a win already on race number 2, looking to go back-to-back here tonight. But it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of racy cars out here. And honestly, through the first half of this race, I have no clue who is the fastest car of the race. Usually by this time we can see, this one or that one, one or two, maybe 3 cars that we can pick out that, okay, if things go the way they should, these are clearly the fastest drivers out there on the race. But I really haven't seen anybody kind of break through and check out from the field or anything like that. I know we had a few cautions here so far, but we've had a couple 10, 15 green flag lap runs that you think something could be decided, but I don't know, maybe those fast drivers are still buried back in the battlefield trying to work their way through. Right now it's Matt Ulmer, Shane King, Jorge Ledesma, Drafty Beef, and David Shively for your top 5. Jeremy Gill, the man not giving away that Xbox Game Pass. That got close right there. He is up 25 spots. Started basically shotgun on the field in 31st. He is up to 6th. Well, battling for it with Timothy Presley in 7th. Then you got Tyler Reed, Aaron Genske, Ryan Perone Sr. for your top 10. A look back there as we got Robbie Minor for Samantha out there back in 21st position. And trying to see... Missing where the other Minor, there's Tristan Minor there in 19th. I knew it couldn't be too far. There's a car in between. It got me confused. I couldn't find the other one. There we go. Now 20th and 21st. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, usually pretty close to each other from most tracks. It's just like who could stay out of the calamity on the track in order to get the better finish. It seems lately is they've had their challenge of avoiding wrecks here so far this season, but we've seen some pretty good finishes for them too as well. But right now, just kind of battles kind of all over the place here. A lot of side by side here and there, and just trying to float around. So if you're missing your favorite driver, let me know. I was on there with a few and just kind of keeping things. It does look like Jarrett Martin's coming down into the pits with the 8. And is he in a fuel?
Doesn't look good. Whatever the case is right there for the 8th. As unfortunately he's in pit lane right now. So I can't see when he was last in pit lane, but he's going to have to tow back from there. So the 8 definitely not having a night that he wanted to have here. As you see Matt Ulmer, I'm not sure which lane you want to try and block at this point. There's drivers all over trying to get up there. Timothy Presley's got the newest tires. Well, maybe not the newest tires. He pit on lap number 37, so he's got the most fuel and everybody up here. But I think majority of the field at the front right now pit on lap number 31 or 32 to get those new tires. And that includes everybody all the way back to the top 9. And then 10th place, James Smith, pit on lap number 46. So he's got the freshest tires in the top 10.
Yeah, and working his way forward, up 14 spots still. But you can see that high line. If you can stay off the wall, it is really a rocket ship here.
Jeremy Gill bounced off the wall. That's why he's sliding back right now. Outside the top 10. So it's going to move Jonathan Marsh up into that top 10 right now as Gill trying to just get this thing collected. And I think maybe damaged real close there with Joshua King, who's really just kind of stuck behind the 8 ball here all night. He is back, still 1 lap down. He's got Tyler Edmondson also a lap down. Both of them vying for the lucky dog position. But out front, it is still Matt Ulmer leading this thing, but again, we've yet to see anyone show some real speed, enough speed to kind of break away. Maybe a little two-car breakaway right now because the two of Drafty Beef and the one of Timothy Presley going after each other here for sure, and 1 and 2, as is the battle for third.
Yeah, battle for third, and Timothy Presley working that high line. He's been working it all night, and you know, obviously you got to be careful, you know, that other car doesn't kind of push up and, you know, I'm pretty sure he knows that the cars are running off the right rear for the most part. That's why they're getting loose. And they talked about being able to kind of save that front right tire. Once that front right goes, you start pushing, and that's the the last thing you want to do is get up into the car above you when you're too wide. But looking just around here, another one kind of poking their nose up here. Late in the race here is Shively in the 85. So some moves being made by the field here. You can see 3 wide with 99. Tom Lanier back there in P number 8. But yeah, what a mess back here in the beginning of the battlefield. But they are battling hard here tonight.
Well, yeah, you have some guys, like I mentioned, pit on lap number 46, so we got some newer tires trying to work their way through the field. You see James Smith there. The car with no number is technically the number 9. He is up to 6th place right now, working his way through the field. Another one in the top 10 now that has got those fresher tires is Tom Lanier in the 99, trying to work his way through. And you see, it is a lot going on right now here in the back half of this top 10. And really, I mean, you look at the timing and scoring tower, and not sure if you have the relative up there or not, Jimmy, but it's crazy. Looking at it on the SDK side, I mean, for those of you that are new to SDK, new to the towers like this, when we have the relative up there, if it's a white number, there's really no imminent battle going on. If there's an orange colored number in between, it means it's within a 1 second range. Then when it's red, it is within half a second. And right now, I mean, looking up and down the board, there's a ton of red, and just about everybody else, it's either red or orange for the whole field. It's that close battling all the way through.
Yeah, and you can see the orange numbers, obviously, within that between a tenth and a half a second. And once it's over a half second, it goes yellow. But yeah, some quick battle, and you can see the colors turning from green to red, and that's just the players shift here. You can see a 23 coming down here, getting a pit stop. Shively's going to hit the pits as well. So maybe some green flag pit stops here working with only 23 laps to go, Carl.
Yeah, it is time to start making your moves here, but I think a lot of these drivers may have to make a move into pit road before this thing is over. Whether maybe the drivers that pit on lap 46 can make it to the end, but it seems like a pretty long way considering how far these drivers have gone. And here you go, Drafty Beef in. I think Tom Lanier trying to get it woed up. A lot of cars coming in behind. And so far, of all the cars that have come in, knock on wood, no black flags. Everybody gets into pit lane without an unsafe entry or speeding. So this is definitely a go time for the pit crews here. Got to nail those pit stops. We'll see if anybody decides to go kind of off schedule here. Maybe take 2 tires, maybe take no tires. I don't think it's worth it at this point. There's too many laps to go. I think you really need to take 4 tires at this point. James Smith, one of those drivers that pit on lap number 46, so he's going to try and hang out there as long as possible. Maybe catch a yellow flag with all these drivers in pit lane right now. Put him down a lap or so and give him a real chance at this win. He is your leader. Jonathan Marsh in second. Robert Altman certainly been through the ringer a little bit here tonight in the 94. He's up there in third. Sean McLean, Rob Higgs Jr. for your top 5. Then you got Andrew Jones, Robbie Minor, David Chapman Jr., Jackson West, and now Jorge Ledesma Jr. showing as 10th. We'll see if Joshua King makes the pass before he comes out, but it's definitely in the midst of what should be the final pit stop here tonight. We'll see when the top 10 decides to come in. Looks like Jonathan Marsh, Sean McLean now in pit lane as well.
And there's a few that are hanging out there. So we're in a 46. You see McLean coming in. So it does look like Higgs wasn't able to get a load up. It's going to give himself a black flag there. Jeremy Gill got a black flag. So just obviously coming in there, maybe too hot. But again, trying to get things done here. And Actually, Higgs was out and back in, I guess. No, I don't know. He got a black flag for something. I thought it was for pit entry, but I've just seen him enter in the pits. So yeah, that was a little early. So who knows what happened there with Higgs? 88 tagging the wall just a little bit. You know, and it could pay off for, you know, people like James Smith, Robert Altman out here, if they can. You know, Robert Altman's been up front for a good portion of the night. You know, and just now if he commits to this, you know, and a caution comes out, because we've seen them fly here tonight. You know, and it is apparent that it, you know, it could happen. They could pin a lot of people down, or at least be out there with some, you know, newer tires. The longer they're out there with them tires that they have, they're older, and then they come in, you know, they'll be able to come in, change out, and they'll be the freshest ones in tires for the last final laps. Or maybe they can make it the rest of the way, kind of like you said, a long way to go there for some of these drivers. Right there you see Timothy Presley just a lap down, trying to work his way, you know, up to James Smith, and that got quite a ways to go in order to get back on the lead lap.
I mean, this is kind of a good place to be in for those drivers that are still out there in case a caution comes out. I mean, they are certainly in the catbird seat here in the top 6, and would not mind a caution coming out at all here, but they will have to come into the pits one more time. And you see right here the 53 of Robbie Minor slowing down. Robert Altman already in the pits as well, so they don't want to get overtaken by all these drivers coming in and kind of short pitting them and getting those fresh tires and putting in some heater laps and running away with it. So they're going to come in right now. But James Smith going to stay out there. He's still hoping for that caution, as is Andrew Jones, David Chapman, Jackson West. We're down to 4 when we see this top 4 into the pits.
I mean, either way, even Robert Altman and Robbie Minor, if a caution were to come out, you know, if they're coming into the pits now, I mean, at least they could probably still have fresh tires, be able to get back up there and have a lot more fresher tires than some of the ones that are out there. But coming out of the pits right now, Altman and Minor, looks like they're going to round out maybe in right around 15th or so as they're heading out here. So yeah, they're going to have to take some time to catch back up to the field and hopefully be able to make a few spots up there as the drivers were able to get that undercut and cut some time on them. But a few laps to get that back here. And tires are pretty big here, obviously about a second and a half, I think, between new tires and old tires, which is a pretty big difference in any track, especially an oval.
It's a big difference, but Jimmy, we don't have much time left in this thing. The time is ticking away. We're down under 15 laps to go at this point, as we got James Smith still out there. I don't think it can make it to the end. The fact that we've already had some drivers that pit on lap number 46 come into the pits, and now we do have your leader James Smith coming in. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to make it right now. The driver that has been in and out with his final pit stop, as James Smith picks up a black flag, as does
and a caution
Shane
flies.
King and Sean McLean. This is perfect timing for David Chapman and Andrew Jones, as they are going to be probably jumping for joy inside their cockpits right now, as long as they have enough fuel to get around here and back to the pits. Once the pit lane is open, we'll take a look at what brought this caution out.
Oh, hit the apron. 60 getting into the 76.
Looks like the 76 was slowing up to come into the pits. That's Jackson West. And the 60 go heavy impact on the 60. The 6 involved the 8. I mean, are we surprised at this point that the 8 is involved in something else here tonight? It has not been Jarrett Martin's night at all, but that is some heavy impact here. And then Joshua King, sneaking by on that one. Looks like Robert Altman gonna sneak by as well. But man, this was a big impact here late in the race, and it's going to be under 10 laps to go. And man, David Chapman, Andrew Jones, the 88, the 3. I don't think you got anyone else that you want to be right now, as they're going to get in here. I believe them and maybe Jackson West with the 76 was involved in the incident there. Do we have 2 guys on the lead lap and maybe 1 wave around? But I don't even know if Timothy Presley will get the wave around, because I think it was Jackson West that was in the lucky dog spot involved in the incident. It could be a 2-car battle here for the win.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the tower, it does look like we have about 10 on the lead lap right now, and obviously the 88 and the 3 will come down, so it's going to shuffle them back to, you know, a few rows back. But being on fresh tires, with this many laps to go is probably the prime. What drivers gamble for. They gambled here tonight, and it could put them in a spot to get a top 3 or even a win. So we'll see what Dave Chapman and Andrew Jones can do with new tires versus the rest of the field that was in not too long ago, and to see if they can make their way back to those podium positions.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight to the hashtag Charlie Strong race here at Las Vegas and the Hold Your Brakes Academy presented by PinUpsForVets.com. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer. And once again, if you want to get in the raffle for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Pass, put in Xbox in the chat here, and we'll get you in there. Again, it looks like we got 3 in there right now with Don King hopping in, and appreciate the kind words there, Don. And we try and take care of these boys here as good as we can. But we're going to be down to less than 10 laps to go when we get this thing fired back off. We'll have the way it looks, may have close to 10 or so on the lead lap, but certainly the top 2 are going to have the freshest tires by a good amount here, as looks like Timothy Presley right now shown as your leader. He pit lap on lap 63. Matt Homer pit on lap number 62, and kind of the rest of the top 6 there pit in the 60s. But James Smith, lap 72. You got Andrew Jones at lap 74, as is David Chapman and Davis Shively. So this is going to get interesting to see if we get enough green flag laps for these drivers to make their way through the field.
Yeah, and the drivers right now getting the wave around to get back on the lead lap here. So going to be a few drivers on the lead lap, obviously, but on a little bit older tires to kind of sacrifice and get that get back on the lead lap. So hopefully they can get some positions back here late in the race. But and this is everybody with the exception of what's up with the 6. There's a 6. Oh, he's back. He's a lap down. So. Still waiting, Carl. We're still waiting on the day that the iRacing pace car is real, like physically real, an inanimate object that you can hit. I wonder how many people would wreck it though. And then I would say if you wrecked it, you got DQ'd or something to keep people from wrecking the pace car on purpose. We're getting double filed up back here right now. Timothy Presley is going to lead the way. Matt Ulmer in number 2. Jorge Ledesma up there in 3rd. Jake Raven in 4th. Tom Lanier's in 5th. Drafty Beef in 5th. James Smith in 7th. Andrew Jones in 8th. And David Chapman is in 9th. And Dave Shively in 10th. So you're watching these drivers to see if they can make their way to the front here. We are back under green. Timothy Presley has been fast all night. He's been using that high line, trying to make his way around, finds himself back in position for a great finish here. So now waiting to see what some of these other drivers can do here on these newer tires. They don't have a lot of time, but they got a little bit of time to work their way through. What can they do with it?
Well, we're going to have to find out what they're going to do very, very quickly here, because the time is ticking away. It is Timothy Presley in the lead as crossing the line here. We are down to 8 laps remaining here in Las Vegas. Race number 3 here for the Hold Your Brakes Academy. And it looks like we're heading towards maybe a repeat winner already on the season, as it's been a pretty good race here so far. A couple cautions kind of mixed in through the race, but the strategy certainly playing out to favor some compared to the others, as we're down to not so many cars on the lead lap. But again, start of the season, we've seen Timothy Presley get the win at Atlanta. Second race, last time out, we've seen Jorge Ledesma Jr. get the win at Charlotte. And they are 1-2 right now, Jimmy. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but they look to be the ones to beat here once again. Timothy Presley has got a quarter-second lead over Jorge Ledesma. You see the battle right there. They're kind of stretching out, getting away from everybody. See the 9 back there? Well, there is no 9 in the car. It's just plain. But James Smith trying to get up there in that top 5. but I don't think he's getting through this field quick enough. I mean, I know he's got the newer tires, but we're down to 6 laps to go. He's going to have to pass a car a lap, and that's a big, big ask.
Yeah, big ask for James Smith, but obviously just trying to finish well here tonight and get what he can. Obviously, he's still looking at Dave Chapman, working his way up through the field as well. Obviously, trying to be respectful and keep that that good racecraft going here, as to get a great finish here. And Dave Chapman doing a fantastic job as well, as he was leading there as he came into the pits. Hasn't been like super fast all night, but being able to be consistent, catch a break on the positive side there with that caution. But Timothy Presley right now out front with Jorge Ledesma tracking him down. 5 laps to go. Does Jorge Ledesma got enough for him? We will see. We will find out. Timothy Presley was in on lap 63. Jorge Ledesma lap 64. James Smith back in that 9 has made it up to 5th. Going to go around Drafty Beef on that outside, move up into Pete number 4. So only one more spot for James Smith to get on the podium here tonight. But so far, so good. Everybody doing a fantastic job. A few drivers down in the pits, probably wrapping things up, getting their car on the hauler. But a close call there with Shively on the outside with Drafty Beef, but looking to make the move on the outside as well.
Yeah, David Shively is another one that has got some newer tires here, but the laps are ticking down. 3 laps to go here. See Ledesma closing in here once again. This is going to be the last call for the raffle. If you want your name in for a chance to win the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you need to put Xbox in the chat. That's all you need to do. It doesn't cost you anything. You just put the Xbox in the chat, and we'll get you in there right now. We got 3 entries in there. We'll spin the wheel once it's done here, but we may need to spin a wheel to see who's going to win this thing, and may see somebody spin before this thing is over. Jorge Ledesma all over the back of Timothy Presley. Will one of these two get the 2nd win already on the season in race number 3? Will they take each other out and see maybe Matt Ulmer, David Shively, or James Smith get the win here tonight, as we're 3 wide off of 2. 2 laps to go here at... I'm sorry. This is the white flag here. I was going to say it. I'm looking at the wrong car here, but last lap as the 23 and 85 almost get together at the front. Presley holding on down into turn number 3 one last time. Does Ledesma have any shot to get down in there? He's going to get close to the back bumper. Oh. Gets into him a little bit, moves him up the track. Out of turn number 4. The bump and run gonna work for Ledesma. He goes back to back. Shively almost gets 2nd place, as Presley's gonna just get it by 0.02 of a second. Shively in 3rd. Ulmer, Chapman for your top 5. I think, Jimmy, we've seen a lot of bump and runs fail pretty badly for not just one, but maybe both drivers sometimes. But here tonight, I mean, I know Timothy Presley's probably not happy that he lost this thing, but I haven't really seen a bump draft go much cleaner than that right there. I mean, it was a little bit of a rub there to get him up the track, and Ledesma takes home the victory. Heck of a run here tonight, as maybe see some fireworks here before this thing is over. But that was a pretty good finish. As Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's finishing order?
Yeah, final rundown of tonight's race here with a nice bump and run there at the end for Jorge Ledesma to take this thing back to back and get a 2nd win on the season. And Timothy Presley will come in Pete number 2. David Shively in the 85 will round out your top 3, and we will talk to them here shortly. Matt Ulmer comes in 4th. Dave Chapman in 5th. Andrew Jones in 6th. James Smith in 7th. Aaron Genske in 8th, and Jake Ravens in 9th. Drafty Beef will finish in the top 10. Tom Lanier, Jonathan Marsh, Robbie Miner, Tyler Reed, Ryan Perrone for the top 15, then Robert White, Tristan Miner, Rob Higgs Jr. for your top 18, and then the rest of your field will be Jeremy Gill, Tyler Edmondson, Joshua King, Robert Altman, Anthony Strickland, Sean McLean, Shane King, Jackson West, Thomas Osborne, Jarrett Martin, Jeremiah Growl, William Martin, and Steve Harrison, and Kelly Akron for your 32 car field.
want to thank our sponsors here for the series, and that being the pinupsforvets.com. Certainly tonight's race, the hashtag Charlie Strong. Also, Majestic as Majestic promotional and branded apparel from pens and shirts, chapsticks and hats. Whether you run a company, a government agency, a sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement. Check them out and get a free quote today at majesticpba.com. Jimmy, we are going to spin the wheel here. Looks like we got 4 that are going to get their names in here, and that is Twisted Gaming Network, Barry TK, Don King, and Samantha Miner. So I will do the honors of spinning the Wheel of Names, and it's via wheelofnames.com, and it is gonna be Barry TK that gets it done here tonight. So Barry, congrats to getting this out here tonight, and we'll get you in touch with Jeremy Gill to get the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. But I want to thank Jeremy Gill for putting that up here tonight, and more importantly, want to thank Drafty Beef for the race sponsorship here tonight, and getting awareness out there for diabetes for type 1 and type 2, and certainly, you know, as mentioned, it's never fun when it's close to the heart, but you know, sometimes that kind of wakes you up a little bit, you know, for everyone out there. So, you know, if there's anything that you can do to help out with diabetes, certainly do so. And I'm sure we can we have, if we don't have the links down on the bottom, we can get you to the right places to help out. And same thing with I know a lot of cars out there painted with the pink, as we've seen them before, for breast cancer awareness this month as well. So shout out to all those that are affected in one way or another with that. But let's get to our top 3 here tonight. And third place here is going to be driven by the 85 of Davis Shively. Davis, you had the right tires at the end for sure, but just ran out of laps there at the end.
Yeah, not quite enough tire, but I'm pretty happy with the way things worked out. I was just happy to keep the car clean all night.
Yeah, I mean, you started back there almost in 20th, back there in 19th position, so you finish up 16 spots. Certainly a heck of a drive up through there. I know certainly quite a few cautions. For once, I don't think we've seen the 85 involved in too much of them, though. It seems like more often than not, you get caught up in something or another trying to get your way through the field. But here tonight, you had a fast number 85, and you had the right pit strategy at the right time, and kind of, when everybody else was stuck with the last caution there, you were able to come in there, get some fresh tires, and work your way through most of this field.
Yeah, things worked out. It's been a pretty rough season so far, but they worked out pretty good tonight. Surely not going to complain.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the podium here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to before we let you go?
I'd like to thank Pinups for Vets, Majestic Promotional, and SM Sim Racing, and my mother, because she's the one that put me here.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the podium, and shout out to your mom as well from the CRM booth. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
All right, man. Take care.
That is the driver of the 85, Dave Shively, coming home in third. Second place here tonight, now without a heck of an effort there at the end, is the one of Timothy Presley.
Hey, Tim, it's Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. Copy.
Yes, sir. Got you.
Well, one heck of a finish that you guys kind of put on for us here tonight. And I don't know if Jorge could have got around you without giving you a nice little nudge in the corner, you being able to hold on to it and able to kind of get you a little bit looser than you wanted to be, and able to kind of overtake you. But that was one heck of a run here tonight. Obviously, a very fast number 1. We did see you running the high line the majority of the night. Kind of walk us through your race and what was your strategy coming to the end, and is there anything you could have done to stop that 44 here tonight?
Well, first of all, I think the only way after that move to stop the 44 was to just right rear him, honestly. I feel like the only way that he wouldn't have got around me was either to drive it in really deep going into 3 so that he couldn't get to my bumper, or after he got there, just wait and turn him into the wall, really. But, I'm not that kind of driver. I'm not going to do that. It was just a clean bump and run. Great finish by him. In terms of the whole high side scenario, though, it's just a place that not a lot of drivers are comfortable with. It's a risk that I'm willing to take that I honestly prefer, because you get a lot more clean air and it's just a lot better line for tire saving.
Yeah, it's not a place that I like to be at all when I'm in an oval car or when I used to run oval cars. It just tended to, that wall would just kind of out and reach and grab me way too often and just slow me down or damage my car. So not a place I ever got comfortable running, but you did one heck of a job up there tonight running that thing. And, watched you run up front, watched you come from the back and run through the field. It was quite impressive here what you could do with that car here at Vegas. So from CRN and everybody else out there, we always want to say congratulations on a fantastic run and race up here and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number one.
Yeah, huge shout out to the Checkers Records What the Heckers podcast. All of them making this possible. Chad, Rick, Chris, everybody back there behind the scenes. MKM Racing Development, everybody at the shop. Rayon Brothers Racing in the Truck Series. Just everybody that makes this possible. And you guys for giving this a great show.
We really enjoy watching you out there, making things happen, putting on that great show for us, along with your other competitors, a whole 32 drivers out here tonight. So again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to Pinups for Vets and SM Magic too for making this possible.
Yes, sir.
Is your second place finisher here tonight, the one of Timothy Presley. Top spot here tonight, and not just tonight, back-to-back weeks, is the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr. Jorge, it looked like it might have been Timothy Presley as, once you guys got the restart, he kind of started pulling away a little bit, but you didn't let that phase you at all. You ended up running him down, got close enough to send it into turn number 3 and get to the back bumper, and it might have been really the only chance you had to get up there and make that pass for the win. But I mentioned it in the broadcast, and I'll say it again here. I've seen bump and runs for the win happen plenty, and more often than not, I would say probably 90% of the time, one car or another wrecks or gets put in the wall. That may right there have very well been the cleanest bump and run I've seen yet to get yourself the win.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, that was pretty much my only solution to the end. Timmy was running great and great lap times, and we were just so dead even. And I knew I wanted to put the bumper to him. I didn't want to do it too hard to where it was going to wreck, him or I or both, like you said. But I just wanted to give that little nudge up the track and hopefully can dive underneath him, which, it all worked out.
Yeah, and it's got to feel good. I mean, I know we got you up there. You got to win last season, but you start off this season 2 for 3. I mean, you win back-to-back races now after winning Charlotte last week. But here tonight, you had a fast number 44. You were up there. It wasn't just pit strategy got you up here. You were up here on speed as well. Qualified up there in 4th position, so you're ready and revved up here for Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. I've always liked coming to Vegas. Last season was a little rough. Started in the back, had some issues, but I knew if I can get a good qualifying run in, I was good. I had a fast car, and I knew I could run up front. And man, it was a fun race, racing Matt and Drafty and Shane and Timmy. It was a blast, that whole race. It was a lot of fun.
Well, listen, I mean, I'm not sure what you do for an encore now at this point, other than just go out there and win 3 in a row as you guys head to Talladega next week. You're finally done with the mile and a half, so you had 3 back-to-back here to start the season. Talladega, certainly not a mile and a half. You got an extra mile to deal with, and oh, by the way, the big one, and just pack racing, everything else. What's it going to take to get 3 in a row here, or is it just, a good start to the season, let's just survive Talladega?
I mean, it's a great start to the season, and, definitely going to survive Talladega. As always, want good points. But I think what it's going to take is definitely teamwork with my teammates in this league, Robbie, Tristan, Tom, and Bryson, who wasn't here, unfortunately. But we'll definitely come up with a good strategy and work together. And I mean, honestly, if I could push one of them to the win, I'll definitely do that. And we can get, hopefully all 5 of us in the top 5. But, that's obviously going to be very hard to do at plate racing. But, it's just going to be smart, put ourselves in a good position at the end of the race, and honestly see how everything plays out.
Buddy, well, take some time, celebrate this one, certainly, because you never know what can happen at Talladega, and as much as you want to try and be safe, sometimes it doesn't work out too well. So we'll see what happens at Talladega, but celebrate this one as well as the back-to-back here to start the season. So congrats on the win. Who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
Definitely league sponsors, Pinups for Vets, SM Racing Products, Majestic branded apparel. You guys for putting on great broadcasting. I love watching it, as well as does my family. You know, you guys do a hell of a job, and it's a privilege to have you guys, you know, broadcast these great races with this great league that Shane puts on. You know, Minor Motorsports with, you know, Robbie, Tristan, Tom, and Bryson, and then my other team, Revved Up Racing, with all those guys over there, and our sponsors over there, Circle W Farms, Floors by Dennis, Victory Fuel, Team Chevy, Corn Dog Studios, and of course my kiddos, you know, RJ, Braden, Riley with me back to back. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure it makes, I mean, not that we don't make it entertaining enough, but I'm sure you and the family enjoy these last couple for sure, getting yourself up there in the top spot. So congrats again. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Dagan's and see how well you can survive.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That's your winner here tonight, the 44 of Jorge Ledesma, getting it done here. Certainly a big fan of these 1.5 miles, but what will he do on the 2.5 mile Talladega Super Speedway next week? You're going to have to tune in to CRN to find that out and see if we have a back-to-back-to-back winner, see if Timothy Presley gets his second win of the season, or see if we get a new winner here on race number 4. But we got plenty of racing left here this week. We got the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Cups and More tomorrow night. Then we got CSRL and the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing on Wednesday night, and then on Thursday we have the Virtual Velocity Racing and Core GT Series. So we got your racing fill here for sure on CRN. I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But for myself and Jimmy from the CRN booth here in Vegas, it's time to hit the tables. We'll see you at the track.
Yeah, one last thing before we go. Maybe did not finish the race, but looking at the tables here, fastest driver of the race, unofficially, of course. You have to go back to the league or Discord for those official results. But I'm holding Jeremiah Crowell, number 48, with a 30.31. This is the fastest driver for the race. So hopefully that helps any of the admins over there at
can confirm that as well, looking at the results here. That is confirmed.
So just wanted to put that out there for everybody, but like Carl said, until next time, we'll see you at the track, and peace.